how have you come up with a value to say that for every famous person who you brought in to Emily's publicity orbit was going to cost her £50?
We just both agreed on it.
Where do I have anywhere which demonstrates to me that the work that you did, having had a previous friendship with Emily, was going to cost her money?
It was a verbal agreement, like I said, but I wasn't even going to bring up the money to her. It was her rudeness and complete disregard afterwards.
Well, that's the point. And what you effectively say is, although you have nothing in writing, it's the behaviour afterwards.
It was so rude.
Interrupting.
Sorry.
Which indicates to me that I ought to have... I can use the previous communication, I'll use that loosely, between the two of you as evidence of the fact there was a commercial arrangement.
Yes.
And you want me to look at a particular text, correct?
Yes.
Now, this is what you ostensibly complain about was rude. You say this is the offending behaviour, and it seems to me that this is the moment that your relationship, for want of a better way of describing it, your commercial relationship breaks down. This tweeting is getting too much. You're tagging me with... Good Lord, I want to fill some things in here. From blank. And I'm worried people are going to get the wrong idea because of his breakup with blank. I don't want to be associated with scandal. I don't want to be cheapened by you. I keep seeing pictures you've put up on Facebook or Twitter, and I haven't given you permission even to use them. You're doing it every 5 minutes, it seems. I find it a little embarrassing. You're in people's faces, particularly celebrities too. Please don't post any more without asking me first. I want some control back over my image and reputation without your interference. Now, Marcella has produced this to me as evidence of the fact that she was doing this work for you, that you had asked her to do it. You don't dispute that. This doesn't present me with any corroborating evidence that you agreed for her to do this publicity work for a fee, correct?
Correct.
What I need to understand about this is exactly why you were complaining about the work, in inverted commas, that Marcella was doing for you. What exactly went wrong?
So the extent of the tweets was excessive.
What do you mean by that?
So here I've got evidence that she tweeted 15 times in one day and then another time 6 tweets in one day.
Well, what's wrong with 6 tweets in one day?
You asked for those tweets.
OK, you're interrupting, and that's your first warning.
Sorry.
You understand? Not here for publicity. This isn't the Twitter sphere, this is my court. Understood?
Yes.
And it'd be goodbye. Tweet that. Hashtag went to Judge Rinder, hashtag interrupted, hashtag goodbye. Now, the point is this. You don't just complain that the nature and the content of the publication could have damaged your reputation, although by the sounds of things it hasn't. You also say that it appears to you that Marcella has been using your profile in order to publicise herself, which is a second part of your response. Why do you make that allegation, and what basis do you have to make it?
Well, some of the tweets, they include other reality television shows or press, quite high-profile press, newspapers, and also celebrities that were on my show. And so she's kind of creating this sort of storm on Twitter, but it's her name associated with it. You know, at the start of the tweet, it's her name. Now, Marcella used
That'll happen when you tweet out of your name.
Yes. But Marcella used to be an actress. She doesn't act anymore. And I think she did enjoy the attention of
Well, in fact, you say, and you frame it in this particular way, you didn't want your talent particularly exploited in that way, but you say that Marcella had several talents which she did want exploited in that way. Is that about right?
I believe so, and I think the language that she used, the sexual language, that's more to do with her own image. She's quite a large-breasted woman, and I think that's...
Excuse me, what?
She's quite... Well, you can see for yourself that she's quite a large-breasted woman.
I absolutely assure you, I hadn't noticed.
Well, you can hardly miss them, put it that way. And I think that the winky smiley emoticon, the tongue hanging out of the smiley, it's quite clear that she almost wanted to sell herself.
What's that?
Her own image, not just mine. A winky smiley, tongue out
So you took a picture of yourself. Why did you take a picture of yourself in the context...
Judge?
Bearing in mind you're publicising her, why did you take a picture of yourself in order, if you're suing her, to publicise her show?
It was a picture that I had and I liked, so I've put it on Twitter.
Excited for the show, it must be. Is that an emoticon?
It's just little symbols that people use. I don't know what your problem is with them.
OK, do you remember I told you, don't talk to her? Do you remember I said, you've got one strike? Do you know that that was your second? Why is her name on a tweet with your picture?
Because she was asking me to tweet constantly about the show.
Yes, but how does it help her? Watch Emily's show. And by the way, everybody...
Because I also tagged one of the stars of the show, and he favoured it. So
he favoured a picture of you!
Yes, But that is publicising the show for her.
No. Let me just think of this as not acting, but some kind of Judge Rinder court yoga, all right? I want you to breathe in logic and breathe out moron, all right?
I only put up one picture of myself. The rest was fully about her. I'm happy with my job. I don't want fame. She's fame hungry.
If you enjoyed that video, then I strongly suggest clicking here for more highlights. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, and why not, so that you never miss out, subscribe. Clicking down there. That's an order.